It is officially the 1st of January, 2022, and today we are playing our third game in 7 days. The transfer window is open. The future transfers I talked about earlier in the season are here. Unfortunately, they don't have work permits, and I'm still trying to figure that out. I could have sworn I got them, but then again, that's probably something I did. Huge pibcac error there on my part. I wouldn't put it past me. I know me. My name's FM19, and this is the Palace March, episode 35. The other thing I failed to mention in the intro is that there's a consortium interested in buying the club. Again, I got one notice about it about 2 weeks ago and haven't heard anything since, so who knows. With my luck, though, they're going to announce something tomorrow just as the January transfer window is open, and I'm not going to be able to do anything. Not that I'm going to be able to do much of anything as it is. I've got maybe £1.5 million in the transfer budget and about £10,000 of salary to work with. It doesn't help that I screwed things up somehow when I got Haidar and Fagner to come to the club. First up, Haidar. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, 18-year-old. Plays a really good trequartista as an attacking midfielder. Also plays attacking midfielder on the right, can play some striker. My intent is to retrain him as a center mid. But the fact that he also plays attacking mid can help me out if I switch to like a 4-3-1-2 or the 4-4-2 diamond. He's here on a youth permit, and I'm not quite sure why, because he's making £3,000 a week. Why he didn't qualify for his senior team permit, I am not sure. And then Fagner, who I raved about earlier in the series. I really like the look of this kid. Look at those physicals. Good grief. He's that good at 18 already. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, natural Mazzala, natural deep line playmaker, and he didn't get a work permit. I don't know why. It's 4.8K a week. I'm pretty sure the minimum's 3K, unless for some reason it's 8K if he's on the senior team. Oh, good God. Is that what that just totally occurred to me. Let me check something out here. Minimum salary, £8,000 a week to play in the first team league matches. Son of a biscuit. That's, definitely pibcac error on my end. As you can see from the league table here, we're in second place. 2 points behind Chelsea. A point behind Man City and Arsenal, 5 points ahead of Liverpool. Man United and Watford round out the top 7. Tottenham is on the outside looking in, along with Stoke. Frankly, after Bournemouth in 10th place, the table drops off. There's an 8-point difference between 10th and 11th place. So we have an outside chance of getting first place. I don't know that it's going to happen. There's a lot of things that are just going to have to go our way for that to happen. And frankly, I can't get that lucky. There's just no two ways about it. How do we get here? Well, we had a fairly easy schedule, to be honest with you. After drawing to Zenit, we were away at Tottenham, and they gave us a really good game. Harry Kane's penalty kick in the 22nd minute put them ahead. Mayoral equalized 3 minutes later, and then Kamara had a pretty unfortunate own goal off a set piece. Tottenham brought it this game. 24 shots, 12 on target, slight possession advantage. We had 6 shots, 3 on target. Sabac had a nightmare of a game. Everyone else was just subpar, except Mayoral, and the vast majority of that 7-1 is the goal and the key passes he had. We can't be subpar and beat teams that are, I'm going to say, we're equivalent to Tottenham. You know, I would bet if you were to aggregate all of our players together, we're about equal. And if we play subpar and a team like Tottenham plays average, we're going to lose. And that's what happened here. We follow that up by losing to Man United in the Carabao. We actually got past the third round this time. United started a mostly rotated side, but the fact of the matter is a lot of the guys in the reserve teams would be starters on probably about 60 to 70% of the teams that are already out there. They gave us a good game, and frankly, they should have gotten more out of it. With 29 shots, 14 on target, a 66% possession advantage, all they walked away with was a Brozovic goal in the 53rd minute. Martial's penalty kick went right at Neca, who had no problem stopping it. And we just had a horrible performance. You know, what I talked about earlier with Tottenham is even more true here. United's a better team than us. Their first teamers are better than my first teamers. The vast majority of their first teamers are better than my first teamers. and we would need a superior performance. We would need a superior performance against their average performance to come away with a tie or a victory, and we just did not get that here. We caught a lucky break before the end of the year. Southampton, Aston Villa, and Leicester are all below mid-table teams. Southampton and Leicester are actually 12th and 13th, or 13th and 12th. I guess it depends on what day of the week it is. Aston Villa is 20th in the league. They're getting relegated. As a matter of fact, I think by now they're getting relegated. They may still be in single-digit points. But against Southampton, we had a really good game. Stablik had a goal in the 43rd minute. Song broke his non-scoring streak with a goal in the 66th minute. Southampton just couldn't put anything together. We were better than them up front. We were better than them on the defense. Neka had a solid game. Despite the fact they had 24 shots, 8 on target, 2 are 11 and 6, they just could not put anything across the line. They didn't get any help when when Nestor went out injured right at the end of the first half. And actually, this took place like 2 days after Vieira took over, so they were kind of a team in flux. Against Aston Villa, we were they're a bad team in the Premier League. There's just no two ways to put it. Their players aren't anywhere near as good as ours. They have a couple players of quality, but when those players of quality, like Grealish and Moore actually had a really solid game for him, but like when Grealish is on a 5'9", Wood is on a 6'1", Guardiola's on a 6'4", and the lowest score on our team is a 7-1. There's not going to be a lot of teams we're going to lose to when everybody performs like that. Benasser had a 15th-minute goal. Song had a 46-minute goal. Gubbles had a 72nd-minute goal. 15 shots, 6 on target for us to their 8 and 4. That's all we needed for the victory. And then right before the Leicester match, Jamie Vardy announced he was retiring at the end of the season. This was a fun game to watch and play. It was very back and forth, pretty even. Leicester had more shots than us and more on target, but again, Neka was really solid between the sticks. The one thing that had me worried was the fact with all the games we'd played lately, including this one coming up, I don't have the depth, or at least at this time, when this game was played, I didn't have the depth to rotate everybody. And as a result, you have like Benasser at a 51% and Tonali at a 54%. It was concerning there for a while. Gubbles got us off the scoring mark with a goal in the 15th minute. Santiago put us 2 up in the 32nd minute. Slimani got one back for Leicester in the 40th minute. Ndidi equalized in the 54th minute. Song put us ahead in the 64th minute. Madison equalized with a penalty kick in the 70th minute. And then on the ensuing kickoff, a Jetty scored in the 71st minute. Leicester really turned it on after that. They had probably 6 more shots the last 15 minutes of the game. But the defense picked the right time to pick up their A game, as it were. Again, Neka has been absolutely fabulous in goal this season, to the point where I'm going to move Onana on in the January transfer window. He came to me earlier in the season asking for more first-team playing time. I gave him quite a few games, actually, and he complained that he wasn't getting enough. I said, Neka is performing brilliantly. You need to be prepared in case something happens to him. And he was like, I don't see that. And I'm like, Neka's 4-star potential ability, 5-star potential ability, and he makes about 50,000 pounds less a week than Onana does. And if that wouldn't be enough to convince him, maybe this would. You know, Neka's got him beat in the physicals and the speed and the eccentricity. Onana's just as good as or better than him in everything else. And he's 5 years younger. I suspect in 2 or 3 years' time, there's going to be a lot of teams coming after Neka. I'm not really looking forward to that. So today, we're playing Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 3rd round. They're a championship team. Fingers crossed, we can get past them because, Lord knows, I would love to get past the 3rd round of the FA Cup one of these seasons. Maybe that'll be my goal for FM20. I'm going to play Crystal Palace, and the goal is not going to be to win the Premier League and or the Champions League. It's going to be get past the FA Cup 3rd round. So I'm going to check my starting 11 and the bench, and we will be back with the game against Middlesbrough in just a bit. Well, today we are hosting Middlesbrough at Selhurst, and we are playing our 4-3-3. Neck and goal, Udakai, Kamara, Basankik, and Sablik as the defensive back four, Santiago, Berg, and Benasser as the midfield three, Mayoral, Gubbles, and Song up top as the strikers. There have been a couple teams that have come in after Onana. Monaco made an offer for him for like £12 million. The problem is, I paid £22 million for him, and he has a £40 million release clause. I'm happy to let him go for less than £40 million, and I'm happy to let him go for less than £22 million. I'm not going to let him go for half of what I paid for him. In other news as well, Juventus made an offer for Santiago. £200,000 a month if he plays or doesn't play, plus they're covering his salary, all 100% of it, whether he plays or doesn't play. And they attached a $38 million future transfer fee to it as well. I've accepted it, if only because I brought Berg and Ruggiero back. Oh, what a strike by Santiago. I totally did not see that coming. Let's see this in the 3D. Udakai crosses it to Berg, to Santiago, drives it forward, cuts right, top of the box. Oh, upper right corner. That was well struck. And frankly, to pick up where I left off, I'm comfortable letting Santiago go because I brought Ruggiero back. I brought Berg back, at least for the end of the season. And Fagner will be here starting next season as soon as I sign him to a new contract that pays him £8,000 a week. The Eagle-Eyed Monster, you will notice I do have Haidar on the bench because as this is a cup game, it doesn't qualify as a senior squad game, and he will definitely come in and get some playing time, especially as Benasser is already at 70%. Oh, off the crossbar, but Berg is there and hits it. Well done, boys. 32 minutes in, we are 2-0 up. Let's watch this. Oh, that was almost Milivojevic-esque. Yeah, his name just doesn't... Esque just doesn't work with Luca's name. Berg, however, is leaving at the end of the season. I tried transferring him out at the beginning of the season, and no takers for him. I loaned him out to Frankfurt and brought him back. His contract expires at the end of this season, and he has no interest in re-signing. And frankly, I can't blame him for that. Holy cow, we are thumping Middlesbrough. 13 shots, 4 on target. Huge possession advantage. They have not had any shots or any on target. But the only thing they've done is foul us, and they've had as many fouls as we've had. Oh, I gotta get my midfielders taken care of here. Haider's gonna come on for Benasser and switch places with Berg. I think that is the only change we're gonna make at the moment. Udakai. Oh, Bowen knocks it down, but Haider's there to Santiago. They're a man down. Schotten is injured on the sidelines. Up into space for Mayoral on the left. Holds it up, dispossessed by Callis. He sends it up just to get the ball away. Udakai's there. Taps it over to Kamara, but his shot goes right to McKay. Braithwaite never stopped running. Oh, Neko with a brilliant stop there. Came out and got in his face. Well done. Well, Schotten's back. I guess he's recovered. Oh, what happened there, guys? Two of my players both couldn't agree who was going to take that ball. Braithwaite ended up with it. That was slightly dangerous. Schotten with a throw-in. Knocked away, but it's back to Schotten. He sends it to Friend. Back up to Schotten, to McCarthy. Over to Burke. Back to Schotten. Bowen. Back to Schotten. Back up to Bowen. Saves it from going out of bounds. Schotten sends it to Clayton, to McCarthy, to Friend. Drives left. Upper left side of the box. Oh, blows by Sablik. Crosses it in. McKay is there and slots it past Neka. That was nice. Totally deked out Sablik. Oh, he went for the tackle. And I don't know. Looking at that, Neka looked like he could have done more. You know what? 60 minutes in. Brian's going to come on for Udakai. Kamara is going to move up and become Mazzala. And Tompkins is going to come on for Santiago. 15 minutes left. We're holding our own. 22 shots, 7 on target. Yeah, you think we'd have more goals with 22 shots and 7 on target, but... Friend with the throw-in to Braithwaite. Dispossessed by Sablik. He's dispossessed. Friend takes the ball back to McKell. Up to Saville. To Friend. Back to Saville. Long pass to Wood, who's all alone on the right. He drives forward, crosses it in, knocked away. Bryan kicks it up towards Mayoral. He cuts across. Hahn is there. Oh, and his shot bounces off the Middlesbrough player. He recovers it, sends it up to Sablik on the right. Sablik dispossessed by Friend. He passes it up in space, but Bosankic knocks it down. 4 minutes of extra time. Neka towards Kamara, but it's knocked down by Wood. McKay sends it to Barnes to Braithwaite, and his shot goes over the crossbar. Oh, jeez. Should be the last action of the game there. Well, it doesn't look like it, at least from the match stats, but they definitely gave us a game, especially in the second half. We had 25 shots, 7 on target. They had 6 shots, 4 on target. The Berg goal in the 32nd minute was enough to put us over. We squeaked by. I'll be the first to admit it. Well, we're going to come back for the Man City game. They're currently in 3rd place. We've got United and Chelsea coming up. Swansea's near the bottom of the table. They're not doing well. But Man City will be the next game we live comm. It'll be near the end of the transfer window, so all those moves, knock on wood, should be out of the way. And then after that, it's off to probably RB Leipzig in the second half of the first knockout round. We're not going to be, unless we sell a few players, we're not going to be that active in the transfer window. Probably looking at a couple loan players to bolster up the defensive line. And that's because we've got a transfer budget of £1.78 million and a wage budget of £8,600 left. And for whatever reason, the board has taken us back down to 35%. It was 75% literally 2 weeks before the start of the January transfer window, and then they announced, "Oh, you're going back down to 35% rather." And I don't know why, because money-wise, believe it or not, we're actually okay. Yeah, being in the red is bad, but we're only £10 million in the red, as opposed to this time last season when it was more like £40 million or £50 million. We're doing well. That said, yeah, unless we sell a couple of players, which is entirely a possibility. There are players who can go out and who are more than willing to move. We're just not going to be that active. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave them down below. I'll answer them as fast as I can. My name is FM19, and I thank you for watching.